Today's video will be in English and it will also be a bit more of a personal video. I will take you with me on my journey to what has motivated me to become a certified Hemene Approach dog instructor and how it feels now that I am one. So I've grown up with cats when I was a kid. I always wanted to have a dog. So we did get a dog eventually, but the dog came at a time when my brother passed away in the same year. The passing of my brother has left me shattered, and not only me, but my entire family. So the loss of my brother, combined with multiple other traumas at my young age, has caused me to shut down quite a bit during my life. It made me feel isolated to a sense and a little bit different to other people of my age. And of course with that feeling comes a certain feeling of loneliness. I get a lot of questions, or I ask myself a lot of questions about life, about people. Why are we the way we are? Why do we do what we do? During this time, my dog was of incredible value to me. Her name is Luna, and she was just the most amazing dog that I've ever had. Partially because she was the only dog that I've ever had. But she was also amazing. I had a bond with her that shared joy, that shared adventure, and she supported me through that difficult time. My mom and her husband at the time went with her to training school, and I joined a little bit in the training. I thought, it's important. However, not everything felt quite right. For example, that we had to enter the door first, or she couldn't sit on my lap, or she couldn't stand over me. Those things just didn't make sense to me, especially because the reasoning was that she would be trying to dominate me. And why would she dominate me if she is my companion, if she is my support, if we have so much joy together? She feels more like a sister to me rather than a competitor of who is in power. So I ignored all that advice, and thank God I'm grateful for that. That allowed my bond with her to flourish, which has lasted for at least 14 years afterwards. So even though I had a passion for dogs and I love dogs, when I had to pick a school for my bachelor's, I couldn't figure out what I wanted, because dogs, like the schools around dogs, the training and everything, it just felt too surface level for me. It felt boring, to be honest. So I was never attracted to that line of work. I chose applied biology as a bachelor and then management of fish and wildlife populations as a master's, because I had gained an exquisite interest in wolves at that time, and I was aiming with my master's to become a wolf manager in Sweden. However, I quickly realized during my master's in Sweden that wolf management is all about arguing with people without end. Especially at that time, I felt I could not make a difference in this arguing. So I did finish the master, but then went back to the Netherlands and worked as a warehouse employee. During my bachelor's, I had already caught scent of Sean Ellis, who at that time was known as the Wolfman. I had read his book and I was a fan. So with a couple of friends we went to interview him at his place, together with his wife, Kim Ellis. And after my master's, I remembered, I still wanted to work with wolves, but I wanted to do it in a unique way, in a way that I could make a difference. And so I kept on trying to work with Sean Ellis and Kim Ellis, till eventually they had their instructor's course ready. So I signed up, went to England to do a 5 days course, beginner's course, and that course completely changed my mind. It blew my mind, I should say. I found it absolutely incredible how much the wolves could teach us about living with dogs and even with people. The world of dogs was just so much broader and more in depth than I knew, but I had kind of already hoped it was, or felt it was. I knew from that moment that I had to invest my life into this line of work, into this studies, into this school. And so I did. Also because, remember the questions that I had in my life of trauma, I felt at the Wolf and Dog Development Center that a lot of answers began to appear, which was another big motivation for me to pursue that line of work. Of course, I quickly realized that in order to be able to help dogs and people for real, I first had to help myself. As you know, I was quite traumatized, and I really started to notice that during these studies. Among other things, one thing that really helped me in this process of healing was the Wisdom Wolf-wise retreats. This might have actually been the first time that I felt safe and connected with a group of people, which was quite an extraordinary experience for me. Of course, what made the Wolf-wise retreats truly unique and exceptional is the fact that you get the opportunity to live with the wolves, which may sound scary, but you'll soon realize that it's not as scary as it sounds. The wolves actually can teach us a lot about mutual respect, a lot about connection, a lot about companionship, about safety, about trust. And for me, the wolf was able to truly look into my soul and see everything that was going on inside of me. I couldn't hide anything. And for some reason, the wolves were able to make me feel good about that, about everything inside of me. It made me feel like I was good enough, like I am good enough, which is quite extraordinary if you look at the human world, where the feeling of being good enough is rare. On top of that, the wolves were able to give me an honest look in the mirror. Of course, with the help of Kim and Sean, I was able to understand where am I at this moment and what do I need to progress in my journey. So I would always be on the right path after such a wolf-wise weekend, which was just exactly what I needed. So about a year or so after I started my studies to become a Hemene Approach dog instructor, I quit my job at the warehouse in the Netherlands and I went to become a dog behaviorist and dog walker because I needed the experience. At that time I didn't have a dog yet myself. A little bit later though, together with my partner at the time, we got our first dog named Gaia. She's a beautiful brown border collie, which you will definitely have seen if you've seen more of my videos on this YouTube channel. So even though I had a lot of knowledge, experience and skills at that time, raising Gaia as a puppy was an incredible challenge. You're never really prepared for raising a puppy dog, same as getting baby kids. On the flip side of that, the incredible challenges that Gaia posed on my life actually allow me to learn an incredible amount about myself, about my relationships, and also with my environment, and of course about dogs in general. I am eternally grateful for that, to Gaia. And even though a lot of things did go wrong in the early stages of her life, which has had a profound effect on her life and also mine, of course, every moment that I share with her is a joy, regardless of how stressful it can be. I am so grateful that I can experience every moment consciously with Gaia. Because of the Hemene Approach, I'm able to understand her. I'm able to see her needs, and even though I'm not always able to help her with her needs, I can accept that when I'm not capable. Because I'm able to listen to her, we are able to navigate life together. And it's not always perfect, it's often messy, but that's also the beauty of it. And even though we humans are often inclined to look at results, the result is an ongoing process, because the result is my journey with Gaia, how much I'm enjoying it, even though everything is very messy. She's just a great joy in my life, and a great reminder that things don't have to be perfect, but good enough. And our bond is incredibly strong as a result. My instructor's course to become an Hemene Approach dog instructor took me 6 years to complete. You can imagine that's quite a bit longer than the average study to become a dog professional. And that is because of my journey of self-development that was needed in order to do this. In order to be able to relate to the dogs and also to the people with their experiences. Because I have experienced a lot of the shit that can happen when you have a dog. And I'm happy to guide people through that process. What did it mean for me to become such a Hemene Approach dog instructor? It was an incredible acknowledgement, of course. I was super excited. It felt like a true honor that Kim and Sean had the trust in me that I'm able to spread the Hemene Approach and everything that the Wolf and Dog Development Center stands for. And at the same time, not a whole lot has changed, of course, because everything I gained in the journey to get there, I still had. And even though I had my mark, my mark of honor, my mark of respect, I still have a hell of a lot to learn, and I still want to and need to take a good look into myself every now and then to keep on my journey of growth. So why do I keep doing what I do? Why do I do what I do? Because this journey has allowed me to feel wholeness instead of emptiness. It allowed me to feel joy, peace, and love instead of fear, anger, or panic. It allowed me to feel connected to myself, to my environment, to the dogs around me, to the people around me, instead of loneliness. And all these experiences have allowed these feelings to become part of me. And because it's part of me now, I share this with my environment. I share this with people, with dogs, and everyone else around me. And that's what I do it for. That is my purpose. That's my goal. Of course, explaining these feelings and experiences and how much my extended family of the Wolf and Dog Development Center means to me, it doesn't really do justice to the true experience. And thankfully, that isn't needed. Because feeling and sharing experiences together will say it all. Thank you so much for listening to my story and my motivation and everything. I hope maybe it has inspired you, or you feel like you can relate to some parts of my story. If you do, feel free to let me know. You can comment, of course, below, or you can send me a personal message if you prefer. And feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I would be very, very grateful. It helps me a lot to continue doing this work. Thank you. Have a good day. Enjoy your relationship with your dog. See you next time.